welcome everyone to the Miami Dolphins post-game show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm your host, Bobby Fins Talk, joined by the usual group of goons. You got Evan Posner, host of the Fins Bandwagon there in the center. You got JPF Scout, host of Digging in the Trenches. Justin there on the far right. I hate how this thing goes. And then you got Mike, the Hebrew Hammer Brown, host of the Bottoms Up, Fins Up podcast. And then our guest, first time on the Fins Talk Sports Network, Andrew Outwater. How the hell are you guys doing today?
Fantastic, as always.
What's up,
awesome.
baby?
Yeah. To be with my Dolphins family on another win. I'm very happy to be with all of you.
Hey,
W.
Dolphins win 30-15, 8-3 on the season. First in the AFC East, second seed in the AFC in the conference. I think the Chiefs play tonight, so hopefully they
Chiefs
lose.
played already. The Chiefs won.
Yeah, they won.
Oh, they won.
Yeah.
They beat the Rams.
That's right.
They beat the lowly Rams. What do you want?
Yeah, all right. So
With,
first, let's start with our guest, Andrew Outwater, joining us for the first time. Dolphins fan.
Welcome.
Andrew, how are you? And how are you feeling today with the Dolphins winning against getting 8-3 on the season?
Hey, and thank you for having me. This is really cool. It's a fun new experience for me. It's a pleasure meeting all of you for the first time. But I'm doing good today. So just, anytime the Dolphins play, it's a good day for me. I don't know about you guys, but like during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm like, all right, come on, when's the game? And
wait a second. Hold on. Is he actually here? You son of a bitch. Brett Lagasse in the house? Whoa! Hey, look who it is!
Brett.
You're alive! He's
with
alive!
the entrance.
He's alive!
I know. You guys
I
thought
miss
Dolphins
you.
receipts ended me.
Oh,
That
dude,
is awesome.
you came out and made your amends like a man, dude. But a lot of other people didn't even do that on there. So,
Dude, I got
Gotta love
accepted when they were doing that whole Sonic troll thing. It was like
So
approved.
cool.
I was like, whoa, I got approved.
I'm not going to lie to you right now.
boom.
I'm not going to lie to you. I am actually very excited. Let me go to sleep. I'm a little rock hard. Okay, no, just kidding. My man. All right.
I was at work with an awkward boner. What's going on here?
All right, Andrew, I'm sorry, brother. I got
you're
very
good.
excited. I
You're
saw
good.
Brett pop in. All right, go ahead. Finish what you were saying, man.
Yeah, so it was anytime the Dolphins play, it's an exciting day for me. Even when we had the alleged tanking season, I'm still get excited for all that. Today like it was a good game. It was that first half that was excellent. I really enjoyed the fact we didn't play down to our competition. A couple times last year we played down to competition, and sometimes we ended up losing those games. So it was nice to see that, started out hot. I wish it would have, finished on a better trajectory. That second half, it was just like, I felt like I was constantly looking at the clock, like, come on, burn. Let's just get through this. And I wanted to say, past Dolphins trauma started creeping into me on the
Yeah, like
Hey,
we're not about to
God.
blow this lead, right? We're not about to blow a 30-0 lead. No.
Yeah, it's just like, man, there's like 8 minutes left in the game. I'm like, these fuckers aren't about to do what I think they're about
I know, bro. Right?
So, but yeah, overall, I'm happy we won, 8-3. I can't remember the last time. Was it 2000? I don't even think I ever remember seeing an 8-3. Back when I was a kid, we had season tickets, so I started getting into the Dolphins like right as. So the first game I watched live, was a great one. Started off good, losing 62-7 Jacksonville. That was
Ooh, rough game.
I'll never forget that.
The Marino's retirement game.
yeah. So that was like,
dude.
I was like the Dolphins saying, "Hey, welcome to the team."
How about initiation?
Oh, you're still here, dude. I gotta give
Only
you
up from
props.
here.
Yeah.
Only up from here.
Yeah, so I actually have a joke with my wife. When we first met, she was like, "Hey, yeah, I really want a loyal guy," and I'm like, "Well,
Oh, you got one.
That's the test. That's the test. You
So
wanna
she
see
Still a
was,
loyalty?
Dolphin fan
Dolphin
after that
fan.
drumming.
yeah, so after I told her that, she was like, "Holy shit! Like, wow."
I'm gonna use that shit on my wife, bro.
Yeah. So
No one's more
Pretty
loyal than
cool.
Dolphin fans.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
no shit.
We're gonna get into our thoughts on the game in general, as Andrew has. But I want to get right to Mike Brown for a second, who traveled to I left Miami. I headed back home. Mike Brown traveled to Miami.
It's dope.
Let me make sure. Oh, okay. If he disappears, his Wi-Fi's acted up, but that's all cool. Mike, though, can you hear me? Mike, you there?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
All right,
yeah,
perfect.
no, y'all are just going in and out, so I just wanted to apologize.
If you pop off, no worries. You just hop back on if you can. But Mike, you traveled to the game, which you've been doing this season. I think this is your 4th game. But this time you traveled to Miami. You're 4-0 on the season, going to games. But you did something different. Usually you'll do a show live from where you're at, but you did it different. You went to the game. What did you do, man? Because what you did was special. Tell us that story, and then tell us your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, so I got gifted 4 tickets in the front row behind the Texans bench. And we gifted 2 tickets to an active Marine. It was supposed to be him and his wife. His name is Alden Varelis, active Marine. He's going back on tour here in a couple of weeks. His wife is active duty. She had to stay home with their child who was sick. So he brought his dad. And him and his dad came to the game. And as most of you probably saw, I sent out a tweet yesterday, got responded to this morning by Tom Garfinkel, who is the CEO of the Miami Dolphins, and basically said there's 4 sideline passes waiting for you guys at will call. So set them up on the field. It was incredible.
Wow.
They were both on. My buddy John and I, we bought him beers, we bought him food.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And it was a really special day for me. My grandfather was in the service. With it being Military Appreciation Month, it was my way of saying thank you. I was gifted the tickets from a client of mine, and we got to take Alden and his dad to a game. It was Alden's 2nd ever Miami Dolphins game. They're both huge Dolphins fans. And just today as a whole, the Dolphins dominating the way that they did. Shout out to Tua. Fuck you, Brett. Welcome
back to
the show.
Brett.
Oh, show's great.
Brett, I'm totally kidding. But no, even after the game, man. Tom Garfinkel and I went back and forth via DM and tweets, and it was just
sweet.
It's one of those moments, man, that I'm a Dolphins fan, forever. Today just cemented it that much more. This is a special fan base. This is a special year. This is a special coach. This is a special quarterback. It's just one of those days that you're never going to forget. And I get it to top it off. I get to talk with you guys, which is always a pleasure. And it's one of those things, man, that all of our opinions are not going to land with everybody that we reach out to.
Yep.
And to be honest with you guys, I hope you guys feel the same way that I do. I don't give a damn.
Yep.
Like, we're Dolphin fans. This is our team. No, it's our team forever.
Yep.
And I'll always be a Dolphins fan.
Yep.
And again, man, today was just something that I'm never going to forget. It's something that I'm so happy we got to give this to such a deserving man who's a great father. He's a great man, and he serves our country, and it's our way of saying thank you. So, and many times I did tell him on behalf of Fins Talk Sports Network, so many people that went into this that said, hey, here's $20 for a round, make sure you buy Alden and his dad a drink.
That's dope.
That's awesome, man.
Or whatever.
That's
a lot
awesome.
went into today. Yeah, a lot went into today, and it was just special, man. It's something that special is the right word. And it was topped off by the Miami Dolphins going for a 5th win in a row.
Yeah, baby.
But
and
it
it's
was,
special because it was in Salute the Service
Bobby,
month,
thank you.
man. Awesome.
Mhm.
Good stuff, bro. I love it.
Yeah. So it was a great day, man. And head home in the morning. I am 4-0. So Bobby, if you want to dip into the Fins Talk Sports Network budget, send me to the next 3 games. I'm not going to say no.
Send him, dude.
So,
Gonna talk to the VP of the budget.
I'm not gonna
Mrs.
say
Melendez. Mrs. Fin's talk.
That'll be a hell no.
No, just throwing it out there that I am available.
We'll throw it
to
out
go to the
there
next
if you
3
want to
games.
reel it in. You know?
Yeah, right. I
No,
may have to hit up my buddy Tom. I may have to hit up my buddy Tom Garfinkel for tickets, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back to that bill just yet. So.
Yeah, not just yet. No, man. That's awesome what you did to go out of your way and do that.
Hell yeah.
Reach out to the Dolphins and to do that for him and his son. That's epic, man. And for everybody who's on the channel, but for you, just to say for you, man, I'm thankful to have you on the network and for what you did. That was pretty damn dope, and it's just very cool. And of course, the Dolphins did it justice. It wasn't in vain. Dolphins won 8-3 on the season. Let's keep it rolling. Let's go to Mr. Lagasse, who's right next door to you. Brett, what did you think of this Dolphins wins today? They are 8-3 on the season. Exciting. They're second in the AFC, first in the AFC, second in the conference. How you feel about the Dolphins? Yes.
Well, I mean, ignore the second half for a moment. That the first half was pure dominant. They were ready to go. They didn't fall for the trap game. Came out of the bye week ready to go. You gotta love to see that. They just ran them over right from the beginning. They were the better team. They came out and they proved it in the first half. Like they proved that the Texans are not as good as them. Which I'm tired of seeing them struggle against good or bad teams. So that was great to see. And then to see that the fact that they needed the Bills won, so they knew coming out of this bye week that they were going to have to win to maintain because they control their own destiny. Yeah. So they win the division if they win out, and the Bills can't win out. Obviously, the Dolphins can't or have to win out, basically. So they'll end up, if they end up with the same record, the Dolphins will end up winning the division. So they have to win out, and if that happens, what ends up going on is, second in the conference. Like, holy shit, when's the last time we've seen that? It's been a long time since we were second in the conference for the playoffs. So that's freaking huge. I'm so excited about that. But what I'm worried about now, though, is like the way that second half went. Teron Armstead could be out for a couple of weeks. We don't know with strained pecs. What's going to happen to left tackle? Austin Jackson's hand placements still look like shit. Austin Jackson's bust label is not being shed anytime soon.
He's terrible.
I'm not feeling the offensive line right now. I still like Shell. I think he does fine at right tackle. The left tackle scares me right now without Armstead. So they're gonna have to figure something out. Just wrote down here a couple stats. Jeff Wilson only had 13 touches, 13 carries, 39 yards. And a touchdown. I'd like to see him more involved in the second half. I don't like the fact they threw so much to Skylar Thompson.
Yep, same here.
I do like the fact that they were willing to throw the ball and not take their foot off the throttle as far as play calling goes. The execution was terrible, but the play calling was like, hey, let's go
second half.
Yeah, in the second half. Play calling was good. Everybody was knocking it. No, they were – I didn't like the fact that they were like 3 passes in a row and with a 7th-round rookie, but at the same time, I like, hey, let's go for the throat. Let's set the standard, and let's put up a 50 burger. I love that. I love that mentality of let's not just run the ball. Yeah, so that was great for me. Great. However, they got to finish, they have to execute better. So I want to see them execute better, figure out some things like that. But, obviously Tua runs better. I did like pulling him because he was getting beat up a little bit when he got folded up before the half. I'm like, I'd rather not have him get injured this week and then have to play San Fran, you know what I mean? So, if the offensive line's struggling this week, let's go ahead and pull them because this game we can win with the backup for the rest of the way. So, the game was well within hand. So, I was actually really glad that they pulled him and they didn't, put him in danger. I was actually happy with that because he started taking some shots in the second half. I'm like, let's pull him. Hey, let's be safe.
One after the other.
Brett, did you see the comment by McDaniel after the game on that?
Mm-mm. No.
He acknowledged that they put the offense in a really precarious position in the second half with some of his play calling.
Sure in the hell did.
I'll read it to you. I'll read exactly what he said. Yeah. I put guys in an unfair advantage. I was way too aggressive. It was something I told the team at the end of the game. It was something I'll learn from. It wasn't fair to them. When you have O-line changes, you can't put them in the position they were put in.
Bro. Exactly.
And if you guys watch the game, I don't know about you guys just quickly. It reminded me of the Super Bowl, the Falcons against the Patriots. That's what I was watching.
No, it reminded me of
He
the Baltimore
vanilla.
game.
So
It reminded me of the Baltimore game.
No, it reminded me of the Super Bowl. There was 4 plays, and it would be 45 seconds later. He did not allow himself to run out the game and run out the clock.
Yeah,
damn it, Josh.
Passing game.
Wingate.
No, so here's the thing about that. So a leader will never point a finger at somebody else. A leader will never say, well, they didn't execute. They got to execute better. That's Adam Gase. Adam Gase was a shitty coach, a shitty leader. Mike McDaniel was going to take the blame for that. And he partially probably right. He did put him in a tough situation with the offensive line situation.
Yeah.
But he's setting a standard to say, hey, we're going to go for the throat. I don't care what quarterback's out there. We're not rolling over and dying. I don't really care if Tua gets hurt. We're rolling with Skylar or we're rolling with Teddy. It doesn't matter. Next man up, we're going to go for it, So, but I understand what he's saying. However, the play call and the plays were there; they weren't executed properly at all.
When your quarterback can't hit the backside of a barn, and you can see that, and he's out there, that might mean you need to run the football a little bit, bro.
But
and I'll be honest with you, I don't care. So run it anyway, dude. Like, look what happened out there during the second half, bro. It's inexcusable, bro. There's so many things that happened that were mistakes that I'm pissed off about.
It was
First
a story
of all,
of 2 halves.
You let the dude get out there and get bent up like a pretzel. Okay, that's the first problem I have. Second problem I have is then you continue to put the dude into the second half and let him get beat up even more, knowing that T Steady's not out there. That's a problem. I have a problem with that because it puts our whole damn season at risk. You could have just put Skylar out there from the beginning. Run the football some more.
What are you going to do next week without Teron Armstead?
I don't know, bro.
We'll
cross that bridge when we get there.
You can't coach scared. That's what happened. That's how Joe Philbin.
It's not called coaching scared. It's called coaching smart. Run the football.
I will say this. I agree though with Justin here because it's like first of all, again, it was a story of 2 halves. Dolphins were up 30-0. As soon as Armstead went out. The whole offensive line, there was something there. I mean, Tua was getting bent out of it. And of course, you got to think, you got to go,
it's
okay,
bad, bro.
how comfortable are you? First off, the defense did one hell of a job. They did give up 15 points, but the defense was doing great. Okay, they were scoring touchdowns. Andrew Van Ginkel get an interception, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, if you say, just like when I got pissed at Tua for running the ball after he came back and taking those big hits, I'm getting pissed off at Mike McDaniel for allowing who's supposed to be the most important player on this football team in Tua to keep getting smashed when you have such a big lead, And it's true. It's true though. Next week we will have to cross that bridge. You can't play scared. You got to play, especially against the 49ers and Bosa and all those guys across that line. It's gonna be without Armstead. This is gonna be a tougher matchup for Miami. Go ahead, Brett.
I do think it bears mentioning.
Oh, go ahead.
Being in the building today, all that goes out the window because that Texans team is the worst team in the league. They didn't show anything. Like they could have won that game 49-0 if they wanted to. They didn't want to. That Texans team is awful. I mean,
it was obvious Miami had taken their foot off the gas. Coasting.
It's ridiculously bad. I do agree. Going into next week, I don't take anything that happened this week into account except the fact that they won the game, and that's all that matters. They're 8-3.
I disagree.
If I asked any single one of
the
5 of you that would you take 8-3 going into week 13? You all would have taken it. I mean,
I would.
Come on. You know what? Like that's what I see. Tell me if I'm wrong.
But I disagree with the fact that we don't have to look forward to the game. Like, of course we do, and we have things to worry about coming out of that football game. It's a direct result of bad coaching calls, bad play calling, bad decision making down the stretch of the second half that led us to getting. We almost got our quarterback hurt again. Because you just need to sometimes you just need to get out of your own way too as a coach and be like, hey man, maybe I should run the football here even a little bit more, even if we're not gaining yards and they're stopping the run and we have to punt. At least we save our quarterback. That's my.
He also does need to learn how to.
Go ahead, Andrew. I'm sorry.
You're good, Brett. Yeah. No, I was gonna say I understand where Brett's coming from, and the aspect of wanting to stay aggressive. I think that's excellent. I think beautiful that they want to be aggressive and continue to score points. But with that, I think the context of all the surrounding things did not translate to, we should be aggressive. I just don't think it was the right decision.
I agree.
Because for one, if you're going to be aggressive, I'm sorry, leave Tua in there. Like if you were to tell me like, hey, Armstead is out, and we're pulling Tua. Me mentally, when I saw that they pulled Tua, I'm like, oh, this game, like it's gonna feel like Madden's accelerated clock is on the whole time because they're just gonna run the ball and you're gonna have like because one drive went for 45 seconds off the clock. It's like, bro, that's not the point of pulling your quarterback. I think if you pull Tua, the object is to kill the clock, get this game over without any more further injuries. And
it's because they didn't run the ball.
And that's where I was just like, I think.
No, I didn't. I did not mute Evan. Evan's been very patient. He is getting the chance next. I promise. Dolphins Thursday. Did I see you, Miss Fins?
I'm behaving.
Yeah, you are. You're next. Go ahead, Andrew.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, that's like I understand like wanting to be aggressive. I just think with the context of the situations that arose, I just think that we should have been running the ball. And I also want to point out, I think from the beginning, even before the game started, that I want to say they were kind of looking as Houston, overlooking Houston. But the moment I felt like that, they're like, yeah, Mostert's out today. And it's like, yeah, I think that's kind of a tell that they're like, hey, this is going to be like a rest game. Like, let's just get this going. And I think what's crazy is the drop off in the running game without Mostert. I really like Jeff Wilson. I think the fact that he only had 13 carries today is, especially with the first half 30 points and still only ending up with 13 carries, I think that's abysmal. But I think if we had Mostert, I have no doubt in my mind, if it was a Mostert-Wilson combo and they would have just been going back and forth, they probably would have had at least 15 carries each.
That's a good point. And the running game was definitely different this week. And offensive line was the same until Armstead went out. Evan, man, you've been patiently waiting. I've heard you say I disagree. I wholeheartally disagree. You're shaking your head. You shook your head at Mike. You said I disagree. You're shaking your head at. So first off, your thoughts on the game. But start off with what you disagree with, and then get into your thoughts on the game.
So no, I disagree with, because I appreciate Mike, and you know me, I love Mike, and it was W to W. I was going to use that line today, but the one thing I said watching that second half, I was literally cursing the entire second half. How hard I was on McD a couple games ago, and this was something I said. Remember when I said when Tua went out, and I said when they lost 3 games, I was very consistent, Bobby. And you remember me saying this. My number one thing I always said about McDaniel is he's built this offense around Tua. And the reason why Tua kept on going in, and he was waiting till bated breath when he had no choice because his offensive line couldn't stop anything, to take Tua out and put Skyler in, is that when Bridgewater was in and when Skyler was in, he doesn't know. He has not prepared them to play his scheme of offense. The one play, and Justin's going to remind me of this, when Jeff Wilson's back was turned, he hadn't even finished the route yet, and Skyler threw it 20 behind him. That was the one play. Like, for me, I said to myself, Mike McDaniel is so focused on exactly who his players are who are starting for him. He's not learned to adjust to other players being in. If Tua's not in there, if Armstead's not in there, so for Applebaum and Smith, if Armstead's not there, the offensive line goes to shit.
It's bad.
If Tua's not in there, the quarterback position goes to shit. It doesn't make any sense. They have to learn to realize, and Brett, I always say Brett's been my mentor for years. I've learned a lot from listening to him, is the fact that Chris Greer, the depth that showed today of the players, either McDaniel doesn't want to coach them, or he's so focused on the players that he wants to coach that he's forgetting about Skyler, he's forgetting about Teddy. And for me, you never should have put Austin Jackson at right tackle. If you wanted to put him in left tackle, they should have left the offensive line.
Amen.
He was an example of athleticism, why they put Austin Jackson back in. Brandon Shell came off the street, and he turned around that right tackle situation. He's adjusting to it, and maybe Justin can go into it a little more because he loved talking about the trenches. when you're a right tackle, you're focused on being a right tackle. You can't just adjust to go to left tackle halfway through the game when you've never played the position. Look at Connor Williams today. One of the throws, he still hasn't figured out his snaps yet. Like today, he's still an awful snapper. And you're talking about me, one of the most positive Dolphin players, and I'm going to be hard on McDaniel. Why?
Bullshit.
Because in the second half,
sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm still getting over the flu. I apologize.
You're full of shit. I've been hard on McDaniel for weeks. You know that. Even a couple weeks ago, Mike ripped me.
No, that's true.
Mike McDaniel is. I told you this. He built this offense around Tua, and he's not prepared to run this offense with any other quarterback. And I think that's the problem right now. Okay. He is not ready to run this offense without Tua running it. When he does, look what's happened: an awful second half. Three awful football games. We played 3.5 awful football games when it hasn't been to a quarterback. His adjustment, look at what happened. And like I told you, for me, I was having a flashback. I go, what's McDaniel doing? What is he doing? Run the goddamn football. If you would have lost yardage, what are you practicing here?
That's my point exactly.
What are you practicing?
Let me just say, in regards of the quarterback situation or the offensive line situation, you got to build the playbook to account for all the players, but you build the playbook for your starters. It's up to the players, whether you're a second string, a third string, a fourth string, but that's their job as players. Just like it was Tua's job during the offseason to prepare in cold weather, etc. That's his job. They have to execute. This is the thing. With McDaniel, I agree. There were some things where I'm going, dude, take out your starting quarterback. Don't get him hurt. You're way ahead. But at the same sense, and I can understand where you're coming from. Same sense, I still go as I think Justin probably said it in the background. I couldn't see who said it, but I agree. Just like, Josh Wingate was talking about Williams' inexperience at center. He's actually one of the top players at center this season. He's done one hell of a job. He did mess up a snap with Skylar Thompson, but Thompson throwing behind. Stop. Let me finish. Okay. Just like with Jeff Wilson, when he threw the ball behind Wilson, Skylar Thompson's a rookie. He was a third-string quarterback. Teddy gets out. Exactly. He's out today. Exactly. Okay. McDaniel is also a rookie. He's a rookie coach it's true. Whether you like it or not, he's a rookie coach who's coaching his team to an 8-3 record.
It's true.
An 8-3 record. It's
not true.
Everything you said is true. Everything you said is true. Like we don't have nothing to complain about here after a win. We're just trying to we're having raw reaction with some harsh criticism to the second half because it wasn't very perfect. And I mean, like Andrew was saying, they wanted to run the ball. 13 carries for him is not enough. Like if your offensive line wasn't playing musical chairs all the time, it wouldn't be like this. I mean, Evan was saying right there with Brandon Shell. I honestly, right from the beginning of the game, I have notes. I'll go over them with you, okay? From the beginning, we had no Mostert. I'm like, oh damn, okay, we're gonna have to adjust.
I got something on that later.
And then okay, but then after that, I go into the starting lineup, and then Austin Jackson starting for Brandon Shell, and I was immediately like, no man, I don't like this because if like me and Dr. Brown me and Reggie talked about on the show, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Nothing was broke. Our offensive line was playing well. You didn't need to put him in there. And I mean, honestly, a couple of plays, I get into it in the notes. The dude got whiffed and almost got our quarterback killed. I mean, to start the game right off the bat, dude, I didn't like I just said, how you adjusted the starting lineup. I don't like that. The drop passes early, one to Waddle, one to Sherfield off his pads, terrible. Ingram and Riley all combined for a sack, great. Tua scrambling pass on the goal line, Tutty to Smith. I like how he was moving and caressing through this pocket. Great, nice touchdown. Drop passes, bro. 2-3 of them by Waddle. Those drop passes hurt you. You can move the damn offense when you don't drop the damn football. You're going to throw it to you? Catch it! And sorry I'm so pissed, but dude, it pisses me off. You have to catch the football, bro. You have to.
Are you going after Are you really going after Jalen Waddle right now?
I'm just saying you got to catch the football, bro. You got to catch the ball.
No, I don't disagree.
I'm going after anybody who drops the fucking ball.
It's weird. It's almost like a
Van
body
Ginkel
catcher.
had the INT and the Tutty. Squares those your shoulders. It's great, bro. At the rate we were going right there in the game, guess what? We're going to bring in our backups, just like Brett was saying. We're going to start playing backups. The team was exciting. Fireworks. Tua was balling. These are all the notes I'm writing, right? Defense is bringing the heat. Offensive line of scrimmage. Robe dropped wood. Xavier Howard picked up the Tutty, ran it in for the touchdown. Bam! Everything's going great, right? Dude, this is the notes. Look how drastically the notes change. Everything looked great. 2 minutes to go. 2-minute warning. Texans have 30 total yards. Austin, like here goes the second half, dude. This is where it's right before the second half where things really started getting bad. Austin Jackson with 2-minute warning almost got Uno killed. Held my breath, yelled, "Watch out!" Because that's exactly what happened when I was watching the damn game, bro. He took a big hit. Armstead pulled out of the game, walked to the locker room early. So he goes out of the game. Soon as Armstead went out, the communication just went to shit. Everything just fell apart, bro. Like every other play, someone was getting burned.
Remember when Miami was on that losing streak? It happened the same way.
Same thing.
When Armstead went down that offensive line, what happened to two after Armstead
He got hurt.
Yep.
He got hurt. And then what'd you do when Armstead? This is the biggest problem I have with the game. The biggest problem I have and the biggest criticism I have over the game. He's a rookie head coach. I understand that. And you know what? You're talking about the aggressive. I love the aggressiveness. On fourth down, I wanted to go for it too. There too. But then there was once where he kicked the field goal. And you see, it's like he was in his own head, bro. Like you got to know.
Sanders in the hose.
I told you he'd be perfect the rest of the year. I gave him props.
But you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him as a coach like that, bro, and when to play a little bit more conservative. Like, bro, you needed to run the damn football right there, bro. Like when Mike McDaniels you got your franchise quarterback getting bent backwards like a pretzel on a football field. You got some problems going on, bro. You got some fucking problems, and you gotta fix them, dude.
When that happened, when he went back, I went, "Oh God damn!"
Yeah.
Dude,
oh, that's great. Great.
He falls so awkward, and a part of it is he's trying to like fight that defense lineman from bringing him down. I'm like, dude, just
fall down, please.
That defensive lineman needs a what's that called? Humanitarian award. He could have put all his weight on him. It would have broke.
Yeah,
that guy actually
broke him, bro.
Kept that weight off of him.
Dude,
it looks like a bad W. It looks like a bad W body.
Like, trust me, I'm not going after no one. And after saying he dropped a bunch of passes and fucking he sucks, I love Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's a beast.
Congratulations to Jalen Waddle.
You got to catch the football, bro. Not only that,
he made up for it, though. He made up for it. No,
he did. We won the football game, but you don't want to drop the football when it counts on us, like in a playoff game or a situation like that.
When he was drafted.
It's crucial.
What I said when he was drafted. He's a body catcher, so you're going to have to accept a couple drops here and there with him.
But guys,
I said that from the very beginning with him.
But congratulate Jalen Waddle. He is in the first 2 seasons, the guy's had more receiving yards than any other guy in his first 2 years of football ever.
Love him to
and
death.
He still has 6 more games to go. 1,926 yards.
He's doing great.
It's phenomenal.
But but I agree with Justin though. I don't think it's coming at a player, but your job is to catch the ball. And those were catchable footballs. He did make up for it though, but I don't think you're wrong in going after it.
Like I disagree with him being a hands or a body catcher. I just think he's a guy who goes up and lacks concentration sometimes at the catch point when he's up there. And I think it's something that's lacked him since coming out of college. I think he's a hands catcher. It's just sometimes when he gets into that up in the air position, he decides he's gonna either go up there and make the play or he's gonna fight himself over it. And that's what happens.
He's better when the ball is within his frame.
Yeah,
sure. When he has to reach.
His catch radius isn't really big, no.
Right, no, and so that's where he's best. So the ball should be more on the money for him. He can go up, make some tough catches. He's done it quite a few times.
But each of the ones he dropped, those 3, dude, he should have caught all 3.
No, they were catchable football.
Yeah, all 3.
It was crazy how he
dropped them.
Yeah, he dropped those couple, and then he catches that one. That
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy about that dude, man.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, I was gonna say because we were talking about McDaniel for a second, and I think it's like there's another rookie thing, rookie head coach thing. I don't know if you guys noticed, and it's something I think it's an issue that has been going on this entire year. There's I don't know if there's a miscommunication or there's too much communication to when McDaniel's calling the play. I noticed that sometimes the play clock, they're breaking the huddle, super late, 9 seconds. They almost did it today. We had the delay.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's a reason.
But do you think there is a reason, or do you think it's
Do you remember Sean McVay and Jared Goff?
Yeah. So
I remember you. Okay.
Yeah. That's more. If I had to guess, that's more than likely what they're doing.
So
it's just taking time to get it in there.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was too, because I know the quarterback, or the coach can talk to the quarterback up until 15 seconds on the play clock. And so that's why I'm thinking, like, I don't know if it's intentional. They're like, hey, don't break the huddle until 11 seconds and all that.
Well, the verbiage in the offense is very long. It's like a whole paragraph for a play.
It's really long, bro.
If there's a couple times where a quarterback, even experienced quarterbacks in the offense, like run that to me one more time. So,
can you
so
spit
that's
that
why
again?
sometimes they'll go the wristband. They'll shoot it, and then the quarterback can hear it, and instead of having the repeat, he'll go 15. We're running 15, and then and it has like a short and hyphenated. That way, he can just spit it out a little faster.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I'm curious if there'll be something like maybe like later. I know they tried doing something earlier this year. We're trying to clear up the communication to deliver the play call, but I'm still noticing that like it. It's not again. That's a nitpicky critique.
That's okay,
but that can lead to burning a timeout because you want to use 5. You don't want to use. You burn a timeout, and next thing you know, at the end of the game, you're down to 1 timeout because of a couple mess ups, which
has happened this season numerous times, honestly.
And that will get better the more they have people that are in this system, the longer like they're in it, the more they'll learn. It is something that's pretty common in this system.
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of continuity, like Brett was just saying, and then a matter of getting all used to each other. And the play verbiage is so damn long that the play call has to come out. And then, like if he didn't say that, and he maybe missed a Y that was supposed to be a Z, he's like, what did you say again? Next thing you know, the play call's getting delayed for further and further. And
in a sense, he's basically the same thing with like McVay and Goff, and they did it with Garoppolo. It's just they're kind of like I don't think they did it with Rodgers, but one of the other quarterbacks, I think they're doing with Russell Wilson too. But everybody in the system, they do it with Tannehill. They kind of like hold their hand through the play call in a sense to make sure that it goes right. Everything goes right because it's a lot. It's a lot of verbiage. It's a lot. Make sure they call it right because a lot of it is if one thing goes wrong or someone misunderstands their assignment based on the verbiage of the play.
He's right.
Each word of a play is a designation for each position group and what they're doing on that set play. So they're only really listening for key words. The quarterback has to know the whole thing, where the offensive lineman is only listening for that. Okay, that's this protection. This is the direction we're going. So and then there might be like an alert with it or something along those lines.
Yeah, I also heard something along the lines too today with that same thing you're talking about right there. With Tua, this is the first year he even knew that there needed to be a matching drop back, where like your step drop back has to match with the route distance depth that the receiver is running as well. See, so it's like a trigonometry little question. You're getting all up there with one snap. So just imagine how hard each play is to where you're like, okay, it's a 7-step drop, and at the 7th step, the X receiver is going to be 17 yards. So if X receiver is not at 17 yards and he's at 19 yards, then that's going to throw you all off. It's just like that, bro. It's just one, and everything has to be just perfect, like Brett said. And there's fallbacks into the offense if that ain't there, and if that fallback ain't there, you'll see him get panicky feet or throw it away.
So let me go into this here very quick. Everyone who's tuning in, thank you. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, smash that like and subscribe button. You're watching the Miami Dolphins post-game show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Justin will be back in a second. He popped off. I know Mike Brown was here. He said his internet had issues. He should pop in. But Evan Posner of the Fins bandwagon, Brett Lagasse of Overtime, Fins Talk Overtime, and Huddle Up and Wait. And then our guest tonight, Andrew Outwater, joining us. Looks like Evan pissed off Justin. Oh, no, Justin's back. And, I'm just kidding.
I never pissed off Justin.
I'm just playing. But let's talk about this because we want to talk about, obviously we're talking offense. It's the most popular thing. Offense, for me, what's great, obviously Dolphins win, right? Win's a win. We know that.
Yeah,
but what's big about this win is there was a lot of things that we are talking about that we're scratching our head going, damn, but look at this. Damn, look at offensive line. Armstead goes out. Offensive line is falling apart. We're looking at the coach. We're looking at the coach saying, hey, man, why are you not having these guys ready? To me, it's a depth issue. Again, I look at the other guy who's been there for 20 years. You look at I know the quarterback situation, whatever. I just think the players have to execute. Even though there are question marks or there's things that we're going, damn, Tua didn't have a perfect game. The offense, there were some drop balls, etc. Dolphins are still 8-3. Defense showed up today. I mean, Andrew Van Ginkel, fumbles.
Damn right.
Xavier Howard scored a touchdown. There were things that were definitely ultra positive. So I'm going to my ultra positive teammate on the Fins Talk Sports Network, Evan Posner. Evan, defense. No, you son of a bitch. I'm not going defense right now. Jason Sanders. How you like Sanders today?
Right down the middle.
Listen to the bandwagon. Whoa. If you watch the bandwagon, I
remember.
At the end of the
watching.
bandwagon,
I have to watch the bandwagon.
Jason Sanders would not miss
He did.
one more kick the rest of the goddamn season.
He said that for sure.
He was not off anywhere. Nope. If you notice today, he could have easily missed extra point. He was dead center on everything, and that's what I said.
Yes, they will.
It's never been his distance. Every kick he's missed has never been distance. It's been in his head. The fact that I think he realized, you want to know why? He's had a bye. Maybe he went to go do some yoga. Maybe he went to the Maldives. I don't know what he did, but I think the fact that he figured it out,
some fly
he was
fishing,
more confident today. The fact that he looked there, he didn't think. Okay, he didn't think, and he just went. He kicked the football, and he did his job.
Yeah.
I was very impressed because also, if you look at how he kicked the ball, if they chose to take it out of the end zone today, that was his choice. But not one kick that he made, even on a kickoff, was short of the end zone. He did his job, and that's all you need.
So, let me ask you this. I'll stay with you because you've been quiet, and I'm gonna give you. Where is this damn thing? Give you a flower.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm just
so excited that Brett's here. Like I'm at a loss for words.
But Dolphins Thirsty, Rob there, who's co-host of the Real Talk Fans Talk with Steve Malloy, also hosts a Dolphins Daily Morning Show on his YouTube page with the one and only JPF Scout.
He's half Canadian too.
And if you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go to dolphinsthirsty.com. Awesome stuff.
Kills
day
it.
after day. He's an awesome dude. But he's right because it's true. We're talking about next week. I mean, we're talking about today, but we know we all kind of figured we knew that Miami was going to win this football game. We have figured Miami would dominate this football game. They did in the first half. It was a tale of two halves, two different players. Once Armstead went out, this was a different team. Supposedly, Armstead is out for the next few weeks. That's not good news because we got a tough schedule ahead.
Better have Mostert back.
Now, defense is
so they
key
kept
against
for that reason.
Evan. Defense played very well today. They did one hell of a job. They're going to be the key next week, as Dolphin Thirsty has said. Tell me what you thought about today's defense and what do you think they could do against the 49ers next week?
They were a tale of two halves. I think they took the pedal way off the metal during the second half. Like I don't know where they went. They were playing very, very soft coverage in the second half. The first half they were great. Eric Rowe played well. Ginkle played well. Zimmer came out of nowhere. I don't know where that guy came.
Love that guy, man.
Okay.
JPF talked about him.
Yeah, he played very well. Howard did his job. Everyone did his job. Everyone did their jobs on defense, and it was great to see. Jalen Phillips had at least half a sack for 4 consecutive games for a guy who came out of the woodwork. I'm very proud of him. Yeah. But in the second half, I don't like the soft coverage. They let themselves. The one thing that really continues to happen with this defense is 30 points should be enough, but they all made us nervous. They're that bend but not break, right? They always wait till the fourth quarter, and they want us on the edge of our seats. Next week, they are facing a guy who everyone referred to as the version of Tua. As long as Tua is equal to Jimmy Garoppolo, you want to know what? The only reason I'm nervous about tomorrow, I'm not worried about the defense. Just needs to do its job next week because what I saw today from San Francisco only put up 13 points. They have a phenomenal defense. But the Saints don't have an offense like ours. Honestly, we could beat San Francisco. If you run the ball, this defense should be able to do enough next week to win a football game and rattle Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not worried about the defense next week. I am worried about the one thing I'm going to flip it back a little bit was the expectation for me today was to get that offense going. And the fact that Wilson without Mostert, there wasn't a significant growth in the running game today.
We'll roll.
I got something on that.
Go ahead, Brett.
It's because this offense needs a 1-2 punch. But go ahead, Evan.
No. I want you to.
He's frozen. Oh, there he is. I'm
never frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
I'm not frozen.
You were just a second ago. That's why we.
I've never been frozen ever. I pulled the
check your internet, you cheap bastard. No.
Me? No way. I must tell you though. For me, the defense did what it needed to do, but I feel like it just felt like, you want to know what? I think it was waiting for the offense to keep on scoring. And because the fact that they kept on going back onto the field, for me, to let Kyle Allen get 14 consecutive
that was ridiculous.
I don't care what happens. 14 consecutive throws for Kyle Allen.
Made the dude look like
defense-
Joe Montana.
The defense literally is just laid back. They need the famous line. Even last week, they played short of 60 minutes. It's another game of where the Dolphins need to put together a 60-minute effort. If they truly want to be that contender that can beat Kansas City, they need to play 60 minutes. And that was the problem. Had they run the football, had they run the football the entire second half, and that was his strategy. It's a dial up to Canada. Give me a freaking break. That's why we send our hydroelectric power across the border, because you guys don't have enough across the border. All I'm going to say for me is I want to see a 60-minute effort. And if they would have ran the football the rest of the quarter, and that was his strategy, the problem was he started playing around and tinkering in a game that wasn't 40-0. And in the second half, there was never a sense for me. I didn't think they were going to lose, but the fact that they made even that close, there shouldn't even have been 15 points scored on them.
Exactly.
So that was my problem. But
our linebackers remain a problem.
Well, Landon Roberts, oh my God, he can't stop a goal.
He cannot
cover.
He can't cover. That's for sure.
Well, they're not adjusting. Akins went out wide. The Texans did their homework. They said, "Hey, they'll man up and they'll man up their linebackers."
Yep, I know.
They put Akins out wide, and Roberts went out wide with them, and it was a mismatch from the very beginning.
My problem with that is, why the hell do you have Roberts in coverage anyway? That's not his. Right. That's not his strong suit. That's not what he does.
If you notice, they were playing less aggressive in the third quarter. They're pretty much just trying to keep the game in front of them. And then the offense wasn't doing their job. The offense is coming off the field too much. So here's what I was trying to say earlier. So everybody's saying run the ball more, run the ball more, run the ball more. Jeff Wilson did leave the game in the third quarter.
I noticed that.
Have to come back. Gaskin is not reliable as a every down back, and neither is Savon Ahmed. So the issue you're going to have here is depth is starting to creep in. So if they ran the ball without Armstead, the offensive line struggles to run the ball anyway. So now you're struggling to run the ball. Without Mostert, we have not had a 100-yard game. So we've only had 100-yard games with Raheem Mostert in. So Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson are a great 1-2 punch together. But, it goes back to what I've said from the very beginning. I love Mostert, Teron Armstead. However, they both have injury history, so we need contingency plans. Jeff Wilson, fantastic. He's way, way better than Edmonds and a better upgrade. But again, injury concerns there, so they were not trying to run him into the ground after he came back out. So I know why they weren't. I get why they weren't running the ball at the same time. Yeah. So it's just a tough situation. Yeah, they still could have ran the ball more.
Yeah, I was going to say you still could have used Gaskin and tried to run. Right. You got to block. You got to block it better up front if you want Gaskin and Ahmed to be better. Like Connor Williams can't get blown up by Malik Collins 2-3 times out of the damn thing. Jones has to hold his block and communicate with his left tackle. I mean, they got to block it right as well. Right. I mean,
I'm still not against running the ball more. However, there's a good chance that if they ran the ball too much, then we're on here saying they got way too conservative and they left too much time on the clock. Drives weren't taking enough time. They're going 3 and out. Now they're punting, and it would have been really. Then one more aspect. One more aspect is we're not realizing if Teddy was in, they might have ran the ball more. But Skylar was in, so they're giving him a different situation to let him get those lumps, get those bumps and bruises because he
wasn't ready to go though.
But that's okay. He could be your backup quarterback, and the game plan wasn't for him. The game plan was for Tua.
It's not okay.
So treat Tua as an injury in a sense because it was like preventative injury to take him out, and it's nothing against Tua. It was like, you know what, this game's well in hand. Pull him out. Let's just get the rookie some valuable game reps, and that's all that really was. And it didn't go well for Skylar. Skylar again was pressing way too much. The looks were there. If Skylar did his job, we would have won by more. But Skylar was he was pressing too much again, and he said that's his trait.
He's a rookie, man.
He's Rick, aggressive. Can I ask you a question? Rick, can I ask you a quick question? Because I'm going to keep on bringing this up every game. What the hell? Mike McDaniel said during the trade deadline why they didn't trade Mike Gesicki is because he thinks there's a use for him. Mike Gesicki was Thomas Morstead today. I saw him, but he could be holding a clipboard. What is the point of having this guy active if you're never going to use him?
They used him in the red zone.
$11 million to not play football.
Decoy.
They used him in the red zone. It was almost an interception, but they used him, but they're not targeting him. I don't know why. Because he's there. The quarterbacks just aren't targeting him. I don't know why. Like him and Tua don't have like an inconsistent chemistry. I don't know what it is. It's something's off.
Yeah, it's weird how you'll have a game like the Baltimore game. He's catching 4, 5, 6 catches, and then
the backups come in and they throw it to him like crazy. Then too, like for some reason, the chemistry is hit or miss to those two, and I just don't know what it is.
Let me ask this, since we're at the 50-minute mark, and I'll start with Andrew. And Evan, can you do me a favor, brother? Can you look up the rankings for the 49ers offense and defense, if you don't mind, for this year?
No problem.
Thanks. I just want to, Andrew. So we see Armstead has gone down. We've seen what Miami, even against the Houston Texans, struggle to protect the quarterback against that defense. Dolphins are going against a very tough defense. I don't know what the rankings are. Evan will pull that up. But without giving predictions, unless you're back on this week, maybe you could, I guess. But without giving prediction, how with the 49ers, I don't know how you felt before, but now that we know that maybe Armstead's out for a few weeks, how are you feeling about this 49ers game right now? Are you concerned with the Dolphins' chances against the Niners?
I am a little concerned. I think
okay.
Who's the one person that knows Mike McDaniel's the best? And it's Kyle Shanahan. So
absolutely.
You kind of saw a little bit yet again the Jets game with Robert Saleh. They're close as well. It's a Jets game that just throw that one in the trash. But I'm a little queasy about it. Not to get a shout.
So Joe Philbin.
I don't. I'm a little cautious, especially now without Armstead. I think with Armstead, we would have had, and I think we really would have had a good shot. Without Armstead, man, I don't know. Bosa on that line, and then just saying like what Malik Collins did today, and what just the Houston Texans line. I just don't see us being able to do that Band-Aid for Armstead in just a few days and be like, yeah, we'll be solid. I could see on top of that with San Francisco's defense, Fred Warner is nasty.
Mm-hmm. Super good.
Number one.
And so number one.
The number one offense, the number one defense, and the ninth offense.
Dude, it's over.
So like Fred Warner.
And Josh Wingate coming in saying they're about 9th in sacks and 5th in sacks allowed on offense.
Yeah, you block like that, your quarterback could be hurt again.
Yeah, and then I think San Francisco kind of has their, they don't have any too big of names or top players in their secondary, but essentially like Fred Warner, dude, so athletic.
They do. They got Talona Hufanga. They got some other guys too that are good defenders back there, bro.
Well,
their defensive coordinator is really good.
Yeah, they're legit, bro. Yeah. They're everything in a bag of chips.
So you're concerned, Justin, man, digging in the trenches. You talk about that D-line, offensive line, brother. You host Saturdays at 2:00 with former Houston Oiler, Dr. Reggie Brown. Talk to me about next week. I mean, you don't have to go into predictions. We can hold that for Saturday's show. But you just heard it from Andrew here. And, you were just talking about it, man. How did you feel? I'll just say this. How did you feel before about this Niners game? How are you feeling right now about the upcoming Niners?
I'll kind of go off of what Andrew was saying. Before we went into the game and we had Armstead, knowing that we were going to go in there, having Steady and everybody with us healthy, at least somewhat healthy, and Mostert, Armstead together, I felt that it gave us a fighting chance and a really good chance to come out of there with a win. In fact, I'm on record saying we'd win all 3 games we're going to play on the road. But now knowing that we're not going to have Armstead back there, oh man,
you don't have to go into prediction. You got a week, brother.
I just don't know what they're going to do, man. I really don't. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to sound like Mr. Down and Out, but
no, I got you.
I really don't know how to say this, but this is why, like, coming out of this win, I just had I was in a bad mood. We won the game, and I was like, why does it feel like we lost? Why does it feel like we lost something here? And I already know why, because T. Steady is the most important part of the Miami Dolphins. I know Oos is very important. I know Tua is very important to us as well. But you see what happens once Armstead's not in that football game, you guys. It's like things just get bad, and then they compile, and then Oos.
I like the Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I love it, man. But I'm worried, man. I'm really worried. I mean, the only thing they can really do is go get more dirty and more concisive from a coaching standpoint and a GM standpoint, like they did with the poach from Justin Zimmer, and you go look for a tackle and poach another tackle, because I think that's the only thing that's going to fix this football team. Going into the football season, I said we'd be lucky to get 8 to 10 games out of Armstead. I think we got 9.5 so far up to this point. Now he's going to miss 2 games. See what I'm saying? So I love him to death, man. I wish we could get more of him, but we need him to stay healthy. So I'm hurt, man. I'm hurt inside because I think I think the wheels are gonna come off fast. I'm sorry. I think we're in trouble.
Hey, all right, that's fair. That's fair. You got a week. You could kind of review everything and then go with your prediction on Saturday. But I'm feeling it from you. And Josh Wingate says Dallas thought the same thing when they lost Teron Smith, but the rookie stepped up. So
we don't got a guy.
Is there anybody? That's what I'm saying.
We don't have a Tyler Smith though.
Sorry, bro.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
That's the GM's fault. Chris Greer.
Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry, it's not just. All right, Brett,
Bobby, you're trying to get me started, and then you're going to go to me.
No. I'm trying to get someone else started. But go ahead. Your thoughts.
So, even before
I love you.
Even before losing Armstead, like this game, I still feel like I don't know if we're going to lose, but Kyle Shanahan does really good against his pupils. He like Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur. Just keep watching. Like he does really good against his former pupils. He just knows their tendencies. He knows what they're going to do, and he dominated McVay for a while. Not dominated, but he like kept sweeping McVay. And then like he's like the big brother that's like, I taught you, and I'm just going to keep like schooling you for a while.
Keep beating your ass.
Yeah, and then but he owns LaFleur more than he even owns. Like LaFleur must have like really bad tendencies he never changes because Kyle Shanahan always exploits it. But this game's going to be tough. I think the 49ers defense is really good. They're so well coached. They run the ball really well.
God, they're good, bro.
They're good offense, even though like I know they have Debo and Ayuk, but it's
13 points. Come on.
But it's like their offense is like it's still dangerous, but they're so well coached. So I think McDaniel might have a chance to like upset them. But like our offensive line being the way it is, it's going to be a tough uphill battle. And if we have Mostert and if we have Jeff Wilson healthy and all, it'd be a huge help. But we're gonna have to go to this game healthy, and we're gonna have to make play mistake-free football. But I think honestly, what bothers me is our defense, and I know they've been playing better. But when the offense has struggles, the defense struggles. So the defense is playing much better when the offense is putting up a lot of points. The defense struggles when they're in a battle. So that's the part that bothers me. But I think it ought to be a fun game. I think it ought to be a little bit of a slugfest. I think ultimately maybe the 49ers come out with a win. But tomorrow I'm doing a show on with the 49ers show, Ted H. So I'll be doing that with him, kind of talking about the Dolphins and 49ers matchup. So I'll have you guys tag along on that one too.
Right on. I think there's awesome. No way the Dolphins win that game without Terrell Armstead. And if they have to win the game or do win the game, it'll be because they get a special teams touchdown.
I disagree with you.
Well, that's fine. You disagree. But I'm saying they'll get a special teams touchdown or a turnover for a touchdown. Yeah. And that's the only way they'll win the game.
You have to force Jimmy G into a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
And
that's not hard. That's not hard.
No, it's not hard, but that run games are still tough to stop.
If the Miami Dolphins cannot score 14 points, when this team scored 13 points on the pathetic New Orleans Saints, I'm not that. Then we have bigger problems.
You're sleeping on the Saints defense, man. You're sleeping on that Saints defense.
Yeah.
That Saints defense is better to give them credit for.
And Poppy Video says, don't you guys? Let me just say, Poppy Video, again, thank you for tuning in. Says, don't you guys think McDaniel will game plan to compensate for Armstead being out? More help with the tight end, run more to the right. We had a preview of that already with Armstead being out, and they were 0-3 at that time, I believe. So we would hope, again, he's a rookie coach. He's learning as he's going, learning as he's growing. But that's what's important about depth. When a guy like Armstead goes down, who has an injury history, you got to prepare for that.
Well, you can game plan for that, but the Dolphins don't like to use 2 tight end sets. If you want a game plan to have somebody go over there to help out the left tackle, then you need to use 2 tight ends, bro.
And we really don't have it on the roster.
No, you do, but you don't use them.
What? Who? I mean, like you got
Put Smythe over there and put Long over there. They both can block.
Yeah, but
then if you don't want to use Long, then use Ingold. You can make it work.
I mean, you can, but it's like we're gonna need No,
that's the only thing you can do, bro.
It's the thing is you're taking stuff out of here to replace this.
It's true.
You're just disadvantaged. Evan,
we
you've
need
been
better
quiet.
blocking tight ends.
I'm trying to.
I agree. Yeah, I agree, Brett.
What do you think, man, about the Niners' chances or the Dolphins' chances against the Niners next week without Armstead?
Without Armstead, it depends on who they have at left tackle. At this point, I would put Shell back at right tackle and just pick anybody from the pile. I don't care. Honestly, like just pick anybody to play left tackle. Just work
Greg
out
Little.
this year. Be consistent.
Greg Little get destroyed by Bosa,
I know,
bro.
but they have to find someone and just stay with it.
So
Stick with them, right? Just stick with them.
Oh my god!
Figure something out. But honestly, Tua's going to have to go back, and he has to get rid of that ball fast, and they're just going to have to do a lot of slants, and they're going to have to run the goddamn ball.
You just got to run.
If Mostert doesn't play next week, I'm more concerned. If Armstead doesn't play and Mostert doesn't play,
it's over.
I have deep concerns. If Mostert's playing, I'm much more confident because I don't believe that Jimmy G will not lead you to a victory. Tua will lead you to a victory. That's why I'm confident.
If he's healthy the whole game without Armstead,
he will be fine.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god!
He won't play hero ball.
Yeah,
Even today, he wasn't trying to play hero ball. He just didn't have enough time to get rid of the ball. That was the problem. He had
I'm
less than
so
a second.
scared. I'm scared.
That offensive line bothers me.
He almost got killed with the Houston Texans 32nd ranked defense.
I know, bro.
I mean,
I'm scared. I'm seriously
But don't get me wrong. I mean, again, that's why I'm not wholeheartedly against the whole idea of being pissed at McDaniel because it's like at halftime, you should have just kneeled it and go into halftime. Where you're trying to score, you're trying to drum up points, and you almost got your quarterback killed in the process.
Oh my god!
It's a growing pain, but grow fast because you got a tough stretch coming.
Grow fast.
Yeah.
Grow fast, brother. All right. So first off, before we close it out, Andrew, man, thank you for coming on, brother. Any final thoughts
Andrew.
on today's game?
Yeah. Again, thank you.
Thanks for coming, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting all of you. Thank you, Brett, for the hookup.
Oh, no problem, man.
Yeah, that was awesome of you. Final thoughts. A couple things that I've been saying at least since Tua came back from his scary injury. I noticed it today. This is the first time I've seen it where he's giving up on plays, and he did it once today where he just got down. Pressure's coming, and he was just like, "Fuck it," and just laid down. It was nice to see. I think that's growth. I think that's progression.
Protect yourself. 100%.
Yep. And he threw it one way of doing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the other flowers, I know you already gave them to him. I think it's good for Sam. I think it's excellent. I don't think it's fair to point at someone when they're obviously messing up. I think you also have to point at them when they're doing good. He produced 12 points today, 3 field goals along of 45 yards. He did his job today, and it was a good sight to see.
Awesome, brother. Man, we're thankful for you to come on, and you're always welcome back.
Yes.
You and I will talk more, obviously. Brett, any final thoughts, brother?
It's honestly, after everything's said, let's not overreact. It was a bad second half. It was definitely a lot to grow from. But this is stuff that I've been talking about, issues that could have been back from August, but they've seen to overcome a lot of these issues. So, now it's just next man up, and let's coach the shit out of whoever's going to step up the left tackle. The trade deadline's passed. Just say maybe you can find somebody to kind of step in for now for depth, but right now, you got to roll with what you have and just kind of go at it and then game plan for
plug and play.
Yep. So,
can I ask you a weird question?
We don't have no plug and play.
Is not there. Would you consider? I'm asking you guys. Would you ever consider?
Mute yourself, you son of a bitch.
Me?
No, Justin.
Would you guys ever consider? Who would you put in there? Would you give Dieter a shot at guard and move Robert Jones to tackle? What would you do? What would you do? Who would you put at tackle? Not Little. Please don't.
No, I would move. No, what I would do is what they did last time with Little and Shell. Remember, Shell was playing left tackle. I think it was against the Jets, and Little was playing right tackle, and Shell was playing left tackle, but Shell's a right tackle. So at this point, if I have to, I'm probably going to put Austin Jackson back at left tackle, and I'm going to put Shell back at right tackle.
That would be.
I wouldn't. That'd be murder for your quarterback. Honestly, I would never suggest to put Austin.
Who would you
Jackson
feel most comfortable
anywhere near that football field? Honestly, I'm done with Austin Jackson.
Who would you feel comfortable at left tackle?
Honestly, I know you roll your eyes at me, Brett. That dude sucks.
No, I don't know who we have left to put there.
I don't.
Not
Austin Jackson. No, this is what you do, dude. You don't have no one to put out there at left tackle right now, so you're gonna have to try to. You're gonna have to put Shell over there, and then you're gonna have to try to put Robert Jones at right tackle, and then you're gonna have to put Lamont Gaillard at left guard. That's what I feel comfortable with right there. What I just said. You put Shell at left tackle, Lamont Gaillard at left guard, Connor Williams stays at center, Robert Hunt stays at right guard, and Robert Jones takes over at right tackle. That's what I feel comfortable with.
If you want a different right tackle, I would put Hunt back at right tackle than Jones at right guard, which Jones is more of a right guard anyway. But yeah, that would probably be a little bit better because Hunt was pretty good at tackle.
It's really.
I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see what they do if they play musical chairs with it. But
they're going to have to adapt either way.
Can I ask one more player because I didn't think he had such a great game blocking at all. He had a regression game. Alec Dingle did not have a good game today. I'm sorry. He did not make any holes for the running game today. He was not a great blocker today.
I just don't think they used him the right way.
Yeah,
today.
They didn't use him the right way. The offensive line wasn't doing. Nobody was blocking. I mean, it was just. That's what's crazy. And we're going to pretend we're not worried about the Niners. But look what the Texans defense did without Armstead on that line.
Exactly, bro.
And I don't mean it's not a knock, but it's like,
it's scary.
And somebody said it today. I forgot who said it, but with two in the thing, they're when he came back, they're 3-0. Armstead came back the same. He was out the same amount of games, and the Dolphins were 3. He leaves, and again, like at the Bengals game, the offensive line
just went to hell.
Did that fall on the coaching staff? But that falls on the coaching staff because the
depth falls on.
But that's not the depth.
Front office.
These are second-year or third-year players. They brought in experienced offensive line coaches in Applebaum and Frank Smith, and we all
Applebaum's
thought
a college coach.
but he's coached an offensive line before, not like Coach Lem, who was cleaning toilets before he became the offensive line coach. I don't know where he came from.
Okay. He was playing for the Seahawks before he.
True.
What the hell?
Won a Super Bowl with him.
I know. Good for him. I'm saying as a coach. I'm saying as a coach. All I'm trying to say as a coach at a coaching level, I'm talking. All I'm saying is that for me, coaching is what matters, and that's what my biggest concern. And hey, I'm stealing a line from Bobby. Bobby likes to use the word consistency. I have been consistent in the fact that the coaching staff has not been consistent in developing the players this year. And I said this to Justin on the phone earlier, you pull one little linchpin. You don't have Tua. You don't have.
I think they've done a hell of a job developing players. Look what they've done with Tua.
I'm not talking about the offensive line.
Talking about the offensive line, though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about if you don't have Tua, if you don't have Armstead, if you don't have Howard, what happens to your they're relying on 3 or 4 individual players, and if they're not there, people are criticizing Davian Howard.
Every team does. What? Every team does.
No,
every
I
team relies on 4 or 5 individuals.
You're going to need to figure it out.
Your favorite team, the Jets, didn't miss a beat without Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Mike White went in there and did his thing.
My favorite team.
You love Joe Douglas. You trade Joe Douglas for Chris Greer tomorrow.
Well, when you're going from a backup quarterback to a backup quarterback, I mean, Zach Wilson's a backup quarterback. Mike White's a backup quarterback. Just one's a better backup quarterback.
I guess you're right. Even a broke clock's right twice a day. Right?
You want to what though? One thing that's amazing though, guys, overall, is that the Dolphins, even with they are 8-3, and they've yet to play superlative football. And trust me, there were a lot of teams in the NFL, because you know me how I always say everything's wide open. A lot of teams. You want to know what? The best thing for me, the comparison. Jacoby Brissett beat Tom Brady today. And we destroyed the Browns last week, which shows, you want to know what? We do what we, in the end, we don't break, we bend. We don't look great in a a lot of moments, but you want to know what? We're 8-3.
That's right. And
we can beat any team on any given Sunday.
You're absolutely 100% right. I don't think nobody disagrees there, because we could point all day, this is an issue, that's an issue, but this, but that. In the end, the Dolphins are still 8-3, and it's a legitimate 8-3. It's not a falling in and making a mistake. This is a legitimate 8-3 football team, and they're learning as they're growing. And like I said, for coach, you got to grow a little too fast, because they're going to eat you in the playoffs. But that's what's great about this team. They're learning as they're going, and they're still winning football games, 8-3. We'll get more into the Niners game throughout the week on all our shows here on the network.
That's right.
Of course, you got the Fins bandwagon on Tuesday with Fish Tank and Evan Posner at 8 o'clock. You got Josh Wingate and Josh Kimmel at 9 o'clock Eastern on
Yes.
the Beers and Sports Podcast. 7:30 got
awesome
Steve Malloy
addition.
and Dolphins Thursday. Oh, I love that freaking show.
Hey, man,
the
It's
best
so cool to have
episode.
him
You
on
see that episode 2 weeks ago? That was
They
a
just
great
need to get
episode.
into hockey, bro. They need to get into that hockey, bro, and then we can.
They get into everything, dude. But Wednesday,
Kimmel's a
you got
Lightning fan. Kimmel loves hockey.
I'm
Brett,
all
go
about
watch
the
a show
hockey.
with me and Kimmel. And
Avalanche right there. You got an Avalanche guy.
Like a
Dude.
Yeah, I love
But,
the Avs.
But and then Wednesday night we got NBA fast break. Alex Tichis can clutch. You got wrestling after that with no holds barred. Thursday you got
Sami Zayn.
bottoms up, fins up. You're gonna have to Sami Zayn.
My born and raised Montrealer. I'm telling you, I love that guy.
Hey, War Games was badass. They did a great job.
Who wants to come
yesterday.
to
Anyway,
Who wants to come to Montreal to Elimination Chamber? Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. That's going to be awesome.
I
The only issue
I'd
that-
actually predict that.
the only issue I have right now is I don't know how they can plan to take titles off Roman. Like it's
WrestleMania against the Rock.
I don't even.
I was just gonna say not my prediction, but something I hope they would do, and I know we're going off topic. Well, we're about the end of the show.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. My thing would be like, you remember, I don't know if you remember this at all, but when Evolution, when Triple H was the champion and
Yeah,
Austin made Ric Flair versus Triple H, and he told Flair, lay down. And Flair was like, no, I'm fighting. And I would hope they do that, but Sami Zayn take one of the titles off Roman. I think that would be such an epic finish for that storyline. But that's just me.
I still think we.
I don't see it.
It's
But,
gonna be The Rock.
I hope it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's obvious. And then, of course, you got Huddle Up and Wait.
Wait, that's
on
still a
Thursday nights
show?
as well.
I haven't.
That's
Been dealing with some personal things.
I love Brett. I miss you and I love you. It's all good.
Saturday,
We're
of
still
course, you
there.
got Finn's Talk today with Fish Tank Hank and myself. And then a very cool show at 2 o'clock, Digging in the Trenches, Doc and Dig, JPF Scout Justin with former Houston Oiler, Dr. Reggie Brown. Great show, great content here on the network. So if you haven't yet, smash that like and subscribe button. I thank each and every one of our panelists on the show. And of course, Mike Brown, host of the Bottoms Up, Fins Up. So, guys, thank you so much. If you haven't yet, smash that like and subscribe button. And most importantly, Fins Up.
cool. Thank you so
There you
much.
guys.